The Red Sox are linked to a power righty. Finally, the news that we've been waiting to hear in the rumor mill. Red Sox have been linked to first baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks, longtime major leaguer Christian Walker. We're going to jump right into it, but first, let me welcome you into Red Sox Digest. Hello, everyone. I'm Evan Sharrard, and please make sure that you subscribe. It helps us out a ton over here. 90% of our viewers are not subscribed, so it's free, totally easy. Just click the button, but thank you. It'll keep you all updated on the latest Red Sox news, reports, rumors, what have you. But that is all out of the way. Let's get right into the meat of this video. The source. Let's get over to it. Bring it up here. Pull this off the screen and take a look at our first source. And this is from Patrick McAvoy of Sports Illustrated, doing a lot of work for the Red Sox here online, and he's noted that the Red Sox are linked to a 26 home run slugger in line for a $66 million deal. Who could that be? Well, it is Christian Walker. And let's get over to the quote that he shares, which is basically talking about why Christian Walker will be a fit here, and also talking about Tristan Casas as one of the players who has been mentioned to be a trade piece in some of the predictions from analysts, writers, what have you. So really, this all came from another source that Patrick McAvoy reported on that linked Christian Walker as a good fit for the Red Sox, and then McAvoy made this article. So that's the source. Let's get into the breakdown of his statistics, because those are really going to be the most important things we're going to be looking at here when it comes to what we're going to want to see. So these are his baseball reference stats, sorted from 2024 back to 2014, his first year playing. Had 2 years where he wasn't in the bigs between 2015 and 2017, or 1 year rather. Sorry, bad math there. Started out with Baltimore, and then for the rest of his career has just been a Diamondback, and really a pretty good one at that. Good power hitter for sure. The average has never been great, but it's never been terrible, really, except for that 1 year in 2018 where he barely played. And beyond that, besides the games where he played 13 total between 14 and 15, Christian Walker's been a guy who's been middling average to good in 1 year, but again, only played 57 games in 2020. And he's always had that power from the right-handed side as a first baseman, and he's a two-time Gold Glover, something that the Red Sox could really use at first base. And Tristan Casas, because of his height, is really able to pick out some of those balls sometimes, but again, the defensive metrics don't favor Casas the same way that they do with Christian Walker. We'll get into that with Baseball Savant, but first, just want to take a look at some of these stats. He's usually just an above-average hitter to a great hitter. All of these numbers, the OPS plus 100 is major league average for that year. Anything below, anything above. Kind of go through that every video just in case you haven't seen this before. But that's on-base percentage plus slugging, which accounts for you getting on base via a single or a walk, plus it weights doubles, triples, and home runs higher. So pretty much, he's a productive hitter. That's basically how productive is this guy on offense. And Christian Walker is very productive on offense. He's not one of the most elite players in all of baseball, an MVP guy. Came in 23rd in MVP voting in the NL in 2023, which means he probably got a couple of the Diamondbacks writers' votes and then maybe one other vote. But Christian Walker, a good power hitter, good at driving in runs, has that home run power to drive balls off the green monster for doubles and in for home runs as well once he gets it over there. But these are the baseball reference stats. You can kind of take a look at them here for the next couple seconds. Pause the video if you want. This is as big as I can get them, but you can always zoom in or look them up for yourself. But I'm going to move on now to our next page, which is the Baseball Savant stuff. So this is a little harder to see because I screenshotted this entire page here to bring on, but I'll break this down here and get as close as I can. So I'm going to skip the value here just because I like to go into the depth of each of these. It's basically just a culmination. The value stats are a culmination of all of the stats you see here. So you see the run value, the base running value, and then the batting run value. So he's a good batter, not a great runner, but the fielding is very spectacular. So let's get into it. The batting, one of my favorite stats here. The bat speed, really good. He's getting that bat around fast. He can let the ball get in deeper, which means that he's going to be seeing the ball better, which means he's going to be hitting the ball more consistently, striking out less. Now, despite that, his strikeout rate's still pretty high, but the walk rate's good too. It's in the 73rd percentile, and all of these, the red is great, the blue is bad, everything else is in between. So again, looking at Christian Walker's expected slugging, average exit velocity, all of these big red numbers, those are great signs. The more red, the better the player, and he's got a lot of red, and all in that offensive range. Now, fielding, he is in the 97th percentile for first baseman in terms of range, which the Red Sox need help on the infield anywhere they can get it besides probably shortstop when Trevor Story is healthy. And Ceddanne Rafael is also a superb defender, so he also plays short, can play second. We'll see where those two go based on health. But the corners need a lot of help, and then we also need just consistency and staying healthy. But Christian Walker is an elite defender, could totally help out for the Red Sox on that side. And he's showing, based on these stats, the bat speed, the hard hit rate's way up there, the barrel percentage, he is barreling these things up, crushing the baseball. All of those numbers are really exciting to see for a prospect of the Red Sox during this free agency period. So, the only knock on him I'd really say is that he's 34. However, in my closing thoughts here, I just want to note, yeah, he's 34. He's on stage for $66 million. But this guy is going to play first base, a position that's not too mobile, so you don't have to worry about him getting hurt running in the outfield or something like that, or ranging crazily to get a ball. However, I don't want to sell out short. Playing defense at any position, you're going to be stretching, and first basemen are stretching much more than every other position is in terms of keeping your foot mounted in the ground and then lunging out that other leg. I mean, those guys are doing the splits. They have to be crazy agile to make those plays and very flexible. So that's another aspect. Christian Walker, do you worry about his durability? Despite the fact that he really hasn't shown that that's been a big issue as we bring these up. He's played over 100 games in pretty much all the seasons where he was a full-time big league player, which is a good sign. It shows you that he's not out for a huge chunk of the year. He hasn't missed more than 30 games since 2021. And in 2021, he wasn't as productive as he had been in the past. But for the past 3 years, which is usually a good indicator of what kind of player he is right now, he's been great. And he's been on the field, and he's been playing consistently as one of the better offensive options on a fantastic offensive team in the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, with that being said, I think he's a great fit on the Red Sox, and I'd love for them to go after him. Now, Patrick McAvoy mentioned in that quote that Tristan Casas has been subject to these trade rumors, and I think at that point, you move Casas to DH, and you keep Devers over at third. You could also trade Casas, of course, that's in there, but the better the offense, the better. I think most important takeaway from this video specifically is Christian Walker is a right-handed power hitter who doesn't strike out every time he's up at the plate, has good plate discipline, and hits the ball hard. And that's what you need. That's what the Red Sox need. He's kind of a perfect fit. And the only thing that I think is weighing him down in terms of being, oh yeah, go get that guy right now, is he's not 25. He's not 28. He's 34. And he's going on 35, and the older he gets, the more likely it is that he'll get worse at baseball. But that ability to hit for contact usually doesn't go as quickly as some of the power numbers and the defensive ability. And the fact that he's such an elite defender right now at 34 is really impressive to me. And I think that's something that's going to really stand out, just because that's usually the first thing I'm worried about. I think the defense goes first for the older a player is, and then the bat goes after that. So his defense hasn't gone yet. If he regresses a little bit next year, the Red Sox pick him up, and Christian Walker's defense is not as good as it had been, then maybe you start to worry about him. But again, Tristan Casas is still there, a young player. And then there's also been some talk about, in some of these reports, having Devers go over and play first base instead, try and see how he does there. Kind of the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. situation, where Guerrero was such a liability at third, they moved him over to first. And Devers has shown some flashes in each year he's played, and he's gotten better defensively every single year. But I think some of those errors are really what most of the analysts and reporters are talking about when they say, you know, Devers is good at some things, but at other times he's just a real liability. And I think that's a fair point. Devers has gotten better, but he's not perfect at third base. He's not a Gold Glove winner, by no means. And when you can improve at that position, that's always a good sign. That always makes your team better. However, we're talking about Christian Walker today. My final thoughts really are that Walker's a great target for the Red Sox to go after. I think that his age is certainly a negative, but based on his stats, his health history, and his defense, I think that Christian Walker's a great option despite the age. I think you could give him a 3-year deal till he's 37. Don't pay him don't pay him so much money down the line that it's going to hurt you, but be in on Christian Walker and be in for his bat and his defense, because I think he's very valuable. And I know that he doesn't have 10 years left in his career unless he pulls off some incredible athletic feat, the likes of Tom Brady and LeBron James. But right now, where the Red Sox are, they could really use a bat like Christian Walker. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all for joining me. I'm Evan Sharrard, as you can see right there. And I am saying so long once again.